So here's an update to the video I covered yesterday, which is titled, Am I Wrong for Breaking Up with My Girlfriend Even Though She Didn't Cheat? As a recap, that's about the guy in his mid-50s who was married for 35 years. His wife passed away a year and a half ago. They had an amazing marriage, he said. Very, very happy in love, all that, which is great. I'm sorry his wife died. But now he's single again, and a gal that he used to know, he's acquainted with, is in a bad marriage. And he decides he's going to one night for her. And she started the divorce process, and they started seeing each other. And she was about to move in with him. And right before moving in, she expressed interest in a younger guy, and she basically wanted to have permission to go hook up with another young guy before they moved in together and became officially official, if you will. And she was already packed, moving her stuff in. And the guy's pretty much like, well, go do what you want to do, and I'll do what I want to do. And so, of course, she's like, okay. And went off with that guy. Even while she's off with that guy, he packed up all her crap and was throwing her out. And she claims she never hooked up with him, but he's like, nope, not happening. And she's having a meltdown, the whole thing, and that's how it ended. And I said absolutely did the right thing, but he should have broken up with her immediately when she was bringing up the whole thing, not playing the games of, well, do what you want to do, and then I'll do what I'm going to do type of thing. And as you all recall, the comment section with people tearing his head off because of how mean he was and all that type of thing. And he left out a lot of information, which I found later in the comment section, things I connected the dots, because let's be honest, Reddit is highly emotional and it's typically full of a lot of left-wing people or people that are young and no experience. So now he's updating here with some answers to some questions as to more what's going on. And as you all recall, like I said, this dude was quite the white knight, and obviously he's learning the hard way. But he still hasn't quite learned his lesson. He says, here's an update. He says, we talked about it before, as in the relationship. She asked me if I was okay with it, her going out with that guy. I told her no, I didn't like it. I never specifically said I would throw her out. Didn't think I had to. Then when she told me he was married with kids, that was when I just couldn't do it. She became everything she supposedly hates in a person. I loved her enough to probably get over a one-time thing because she was honest. As she was walking out the door is when I found out he was married with kids. She wanted to go cheat with a guy who's married. And this is the same woman that was complaining that her husband was cheating on her. And this guy telling the story was white knighting for her. This is ridiculous. I asked her on her way out if she was going to his house, and she said that his wife and kids wouldn't like it. That sealed the deal. Besides, I got an STD check with her before, considering her husband's track record. I'm not willing to do it again. Quit saying I basically gave her permission. I did not. I let her know I didn't like it, but would probably get over it until. So yeah, everybody's giving him shit in the comment section. He also says, before this all happened, she asked me if I was okay with this. I told her no, I was not okay with this. Right there. He made it clear, I'm not okay with you having your last hurrah roll in the hay with some young dude half your age, before you really make it official. Because these two were a couple, but really becoming officially moved in together. Made it clear. We were exclusive, or at least that's what she told me. She also told me days before that if I ever cheat on her, she'd be gone. Yeah, isn't that rich? So many women on here are acting like I gave her permission. I did not. I also didn't forbid a grown woman from doing what she wanted. She did what she wanted. I did what I wanted. I guess she thought I loved her too much to dump her. That's exactly what she thought. She found her white knight nice guy that was willing to do all these things and take her in. And believe me, I don't think at all she was so sweet that she was the victim with the husband and all that. I love no one enough to put up with any of them effing other men, just because I didn't specifically say that she would be gone from my life. A one-night stand was worth losing me over, or at least she thought it was. Life is a series of choices. She made hers, I made mine. We both made what we thought was the best choice for each of us. Her son is on his way to talk to me. He's married with 2 kids living in a 2-bedroom apartment. Remember, this woman, I think this guy says she's 49 years old, so it makes sense she has a son who is married and has kids. She is staying with him. I told him there is no way I will change my mind. I also told him not to bring her with him. I will let you all know how that goes. I don't know what he thinks will happen, but he's a good dude. Welcome here anytime. I don't care. All she does is cry. I did my fair share too. He may be a good guy, but I would have nothing to do with him, because that's just going to keep continuing on this thing. You need to move away from her. Now on to his update. He says, I talked to her son and showed him this post. Damn, was he pissed off. He cut off his dad for cheating on his mom and treating her like crap. Now he wants to cut her off. He says she was so excited about moving in with me. Couldn't believe she would even consider doing this to me with a married man. I begged him not to. He said she can't stay with him. Smack! No fucking grown man should beg. There are a couple of one-bedroom apartments where he lives. The car she was driving the past 2 weeks is mine, even though I bought it for her. You bought her a car? Smack! You telling me she doesn't have her own car? This is white knight shit. Now you lost the fucking car because of this whole thing. Right? Just when I was having respect for this guy. Well, the guy kicked her out after he bought her the car. But doesn't she have her own car? Doesn't she have money from her marriage to get a car? Because remember, she's going through the divorce process. And if she doesn't have a car, surely there's marital assets so she could buy her own car. So now she's got a free car because of this nice guy here. Never white knight, guys. She has no job. Well, she can get one. I told him I would pay all the deposits and the first 3 months' rent for her. Smack! No, it is not your job to spend all this money on her. She can figure it out. She's a grown-ass woman. But after that, she's on her own. I still love her and don't want anything bad to happen to her. Okay, you cannot want anything bad to happen to her, but for goodness sake, dude. First month's rent, last month's rent, security deposit, and 3 months of rent. That's a lot of money. And you bought her a car because you feel bad? What about you? You think your wife would want you behaving like this? I'm surprised your wife on her way out didn't say, watch out for women today. I just don't want her anymore. He said she was crying for the last couple of days, saying she can't believe that she was so dumb. That's what they all say. That's all I have and don't expect anything to change. I'll drive over tomorrow and get her the apartment. Gonna be a shit show when her son gets home. She didn't exactly tell him the whole story. I wish her the best. Dude, no. If you see this, I'm sorry what happened to you with your wife, and you're starting over in this crazy dating world that is Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0, but you already bought her a car. That was above and beyond. You should never have done that, but anyhow, you did. And I'm assuming it's in her name now, not in your name. If it is in your name, take it back. But then spending all his money to get her set up, she can find out her own way. She's a grown-ass woman. She's getting a divorce. Obviously, there are marital assets, and she can use that to have an apartment of her own. She can get a job, do something about that. It's not your responsibility. But when guys white knight like this, they're taken advantage of. Look at it right here. She took advantage of him by getting a car. She took advantage of him by saying she wanted to sleep with someone else, thinking that he'll never go anywhere. And now, the woe is me, I have nowhere to go thing, knowing darn well this guy will probably cave and give her money for security deposit, first month's rent, last month's rent, and an additional 3 more months' rent. Don't do that. So this guy, he's slipping. He needs help. He needs comments away telling him not to do these types of things. But anyhow, guys, this is a perfect example I'm talking about with the white knights and why I do what I do. But anyhow, he made the right decision, kicking her out, packing all her shit and sending it out. He wasn't the bad guy there. But if he keeps doing things for her, it's come back to bite him in the butt. What happens? I'm sure her credit probably isn't that good. Is he going to be her co-signer and if she doesn't pay her bills, he's responsible? And I'm willing to bet you they're not going to give her an apartment if she doesn't have an income source or a job. And then, again, are you going to be the one responsible? Don't do it. We shall see.